For centuries, people across different cultures, languages, and continents have reported the same disturbing experience. Waking in the dead of night, unable to move, feeling a pressure on their chest, and seeing a figure, dark, human-shaped, and motionless, standing quietly in the corner of their room. These silent intruders are known as the shadow people, and although modern science attempts to explain them as hallucinations created by sleep paralysis, there is a part of the phenomenon that remains stubbornly unexplainable. The consistency of the descriptions, the global spread of the encounters, and the emotional impact on those who witness them suggests something deeper, something lurking at the edge of human perception. Sleep paralysis, according to neurologists, is a glitch between dreaming and waking, a state where the mind becomes conscious while the body remains frozen. In this limbo, the brain may conjure dream imagery into the physical world, but patients describe something far more structured than chaotic hallucination. They describe figures, not blobs of darkness, but full silhouettes with shoulders, arms, heads, and sometimes even hats. These entities do not flicker or warp like dreams. They stand still. They watch. And in countless reports, they seem to display awareness, turning their heads, leaning forward, reacting to the fear of the person in the bed. It is this awareness that makes the shadow people so terrifying and so difficult to dismiss. One of the earliest documented accounts comes from the Middle Ages, when people believed these figures were nocturnal demons sitting on their chest and stealing their breath. The phenomenon was called the night hag, represented in old paintings as a dark creature perched on a sleeping person's body. What is astonishing is that these depictions closely resemble modern testimonies: the sense of immobility, the pressure on the chest, the dark figure hovering nearby. Across Scandinavia, the entity was called the Mar, from which the word nightmare originates. In parts of the Middle East, it was believed to be a jinn. In Japan, a kanashibaru. Different names, different eras, same figure. In the last 2 decades, the internet has become a vast archive of shadow people encounters. A typical account goes something like this. A person wakes suddenly at 3 a.m., the room unnaturally quiet. They try to move but can't. Panic rises. Then in the far side of the room they see it, a tall, dark figure, darker than the surrounding darkness, shaped like a man but lacking features. Some report glowing eyes, red, white, or amber. Others say the figure simply absorbs all light around it. Many insist they feel a presence, an intelligence, as if the entity is studying them. What makes the experience truly hair-raising is this: the figure does not disappear when the person blinks or looks away. It remains solid and patient. Among the most disturbing forms of shadow people is the Hat Man, a widely reported variant that appears wearing what looks like a long coat and a wide-brimmed hat. Witnesses across the United States, Europe, South America, and even parts of Asia describe him the same way: tall, silent, and oddly old-fashioned. He often stands in doorways or at the foot of the bed. Some claim he leans forward slowly as if curious. Others say he brings a palpable sense of dread, a coldness that fills the entire room. Psychologists have tried to explain the Hat Man as a cultural imprint, but the global uniformity of the reports defies easy explanation. Then there are the encounters that happen outside the boundaries of sleep paralysis. People fully awake, walking through their homes at night or working late in their offices, have reported glimpsing dark human shapes darting through hallways or standing at the edges of rooms. These sightings are often accompanied by sudden temperature drops or the feeling of being watched. Security guards, nurses on night shifts, truck drivers on empty highways. Many have seen figures that vanish when approached, yet leave behind a lingering sense of fear or confusion. If shadow people were only hallucinations, why would so many see them while completely awake? Some researchers believe shadow people are interdimensional beings, entities that exist just outside our visual spectrum, occasionally slipping into our perception when the boundary between states of consciousness weakens. Others suggest they are manifestations of human fear, given form by our minds. Still others theorize they are observers, drawn to human emotion, feeding on our confusion and terror. Each explanation has its supporters and critics, but none fully capture the phenomenon's complexity. The truth remains elusive, and perhaps that is why these encounters continue to haunt those who experience them. The emotional aftermath of seeing a shadow person can last for years. Witnesses describe feeling watched long after the figure has disappeared. Some refuse to sleep in the same room again. Others sleep with the lights on for months. There are support communities filled with people who have experienced similar events, people who thought they were alone until they discovered countless others had lived the same nightmare. What connects them all is the same lingering question. If these figures are just dreams, why do they feel so real? And why do so many different people see the same thing? Today, shadow people remain one of the most reported paranormal phenomena in the world. Whether they are illusions, memories bleeding through dreams, interdimensional visitors, or echoes of ancient fears is still unknown. But their presence has shaped centuries of belief, myth, and modern anxiety. And for those who have seen the darkness gather in the corner of their room, for those who have felt the weight on their chest, and the cold stare of a figure that should not exist, the experience is not something they ever forget. In the silence of the night, when the world falls still, their stories whisper the same warning. Do not look toward the shadows too long, because sometimes the shadows look back.